There's basically infinite things to do in Tokyo, but I knew one I was set out to do from the onset, and that was the Ghibli Museum. It's only about a half an hour train from central Tokyo, and it's a magical little place. Let's have a look, shall we? The area is smaller than you might expect, but I think it was really compact, with lots of things to see and do, and all the lovely Ghibli stuff, including a unique showing and a unique little film strip you get to remember your day by. Personally, I preferred the Ghibli Museum to Ghibli Park. Today I've just visited the Ghibli Museum, and it's lovely. I had two things to say about it. One, quite small, but also only 1,000 yen, and like, for the amount of detail that's in there, you get your money's worth. Definitely worth going. Would recommend if you're in the area, or even maybe come to the area for it. It takes about 2 hours to get around, so you have time to slot it into a day with something else. I can't remember what the second one was, but I enjoyed it. And then beyond the museum itself, the Kachochi area is a really lovely place to visit. There's even some locations you might recognize from Persona 5, but either way, have a walk around. Now, one of the downsides of editing this 6 months after I've been here is I don't remember where this is. I don't remember where this is, but I do remember this location, because this is right near the government building. A nice little shrine that I spotted beforehand and decided to come back to. I don't know if I want to include this in the video, but I want to record it at least. So I was invited out to lunch today by a Japanese person. It's the first offer like that I had, so I thought, why not, let's go along with it. So I did that. We had a nice dinner. They invited their friend without telling me, which I thought was a bit odd, but maybe that's the cultural thing to do. We spoke about anime, said what we're going to do, said what do you study, but then towards the end of the meal, something slightly unusual happened, in that they started talking about religion. So that's fine. And I said, do you want to come to our temple, see us chant? I was like, I've seen these on YouTube. They said about it, they tried to give me a leaflet of their religion, said, no, we don't care if you're agnostic, just come and learn. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I've seen this on YouTube before. So, I thought I was just having a nice dinner, but who would have guessed there's some ulterior motives trying to be converted to a religious cult. So, be wary of that. But it's a good experience, right? But I found out this area is pretty cheap, so that's good. So I'd like to show you my chanting and their friend who was there. They were happy to talk through the intermediaries. It's the first thing they got Google Translate out, saying, we just want you to learn about it. We don't care if you understand. So why don't you come with us? There was a bit of joviality in the conversation before, and then it just kind of went. As soon as I said no, I'm not interested, they were just like hard line, flat, nothing else. They got the bill, ended on one nice little remark. Said, "Oh, do you recognise my cap?" They tried to give me a pamphlet. I said, "Oh, I'll take a photo of it. I literally don't want to take this thing from you, because who knows if you can then say, oh, it's 1,000 yen." I am happy that I've had such an interaction, and it's ended with me just walking away and having a cheap meal. But that's what we got. And turns out it was meant to be that they invited me on this day, because there was another outside cosplay convention, which I just happened to be able to walk around and chill and relax and process and just enjoy being around cosplay before, again, going to a nice garden and chilling out. After the garden, I paid a visit to the temple itself, and I love the Emma here. This one's in English, and they're just people's wishes that they leave, and sometimes a Shinto monk will read them out. And I just kind of love the thought of just buying these and leaving them here and letting the world see what your wishes is. I hope you do as well. And then on my walk home from here, there's something which is irreplaceably Tokyo that you cannot get anywhere else. I saw a Gundam in a random window, walked in, and there was a Gundam event on, which was free to enter. I'd never gone to anything Gundam before. I was just shocked that I happened upon this, and again, only in Tokyo. So I had a look around, I got myself a free figure, and frankly, I came away from it wanting my own Gundam, so it worked. It was free to enter, there was some cool, awesome stuff. You got a free figure, and I've got a free bag that I've not looked in yet. Just for wandering in, just for, you know, I'm sure many Gundam fans would have been looking forward to it and gone at the right place at the right time. But me, I just happened to notice it, and because I happened to come to this one area on this one day when I could have come any other day. I just adore that. That makes things special. It makes things stand out. I love coincidences just playing out. Even like I don't have any affiliation for Gundam in particular. This was my first Gundam ever that I got as a free one. But I mean, it's kind of done the job because now I kind of like them. So I trusted the signs in the train station, and it said the palace is this way, so I went that way. My Google wasn't showing what direction I was in at the time, so I just like, okay. And I got out and it sent me in the complete opposite direction. So now I've just missed my tour to go around the Imperial Palace, which is a big shame. Didn't help that I also left it to the last minute. A bit overconfident there. But that just means I'll have to book it again. Disappointment meant I just got to look around the area instead. And I did get to go on the tour a few months later. It's not all for naught. And pay a visit to a new Pokemon Center. This is Pokemon Center DX, which I think is the most impressive one in Tokyo. Make sure you take a look at this one if you're here. It's right next to Tokyo Station. So even though I missed that, I still had a lovely day. Because this Geode area is one of my favourite parts of Tokyo, this particular area, just with all the interesting trees and then the awesome gravel formation in the distance. It's just a really nice place to be. And there's some cool things around as well. I went to the Pokemon Center today. That was the biggest one, I think. It's awesome. The next day, I met up with someone else, and I was a bit worried after my last cult experience, but this just turned out to be a language exchange, which was perfectly fine. We looked around Yoyogi, we looked around Tokyo Museum by Ueno Park. The rain came down a little bit after that, but it was a good day compared to the previous one. But it was the next day that I really want to remember. From all my time in Japan this month, this was the best day. It was a good morning, starting with Nintendo Live, which I've covered in another video, but what happened afterwards was the really important part. I saw on Twitter that my favourite singer in the world was performing in Tokyo this day for free in front of a temple for a festival, and it was starting in an hour. And I was 50 minutes away. So I belted it down, and here it was. Feel somewhat emotional to finish that. Like my today I've got up early, went to watch Nintendo for a few hours, come to Tokyo to a random free gig in a park. Like both of these were free events, it's crazy, other than train version. And there's nowhere else in the world that can do that other than right here. There's days where I'm like, yeah, Tokyo's kind of busy, and there's days like this where I'm like, my god, this is just a random day I can just do, I can never leave. And I made the decision not to record any of the performance and to just enjoy it, but doing this in front of a temple with Tokyo Tower in the background really made my absolute day. And that's why it's a day that I'll never forget. I played 4 amazing songs, some of which it was the first time I've heard them live, and it was free, and it was just, I think I summed it up enough live. Follow up their amazing day. Today is the Sinnr live concert, but where I am now is quite remote and not looking like a concert centre. I've actually set off 2 hours early so I can go a little bit past the centre and walk along the ocean front for an hour to then get to the concert venue. So hopefully this doesn't spell disaster and I miss it. Google says I should have at least half an hour to spare, but we'll see. Maybe a bad idea, but I'm here now. I'm going to enjoy it. It is absolutely lovely what you can find without even meaning to. Just, I can't even remember what this sport's called, but there's a bunch of people doing it. And there's no reason to come here for a regular English tourist or whatever. So this is the luxury that I've been given by the fact that I can spend probably over the course of my holiday 4 months in Tokyo. I'm thinking it might be 3 or less, but it kind of just depends how long everything else takes. So I really get to just explore this area to the fullest. I'm very curious if these wooden huts are permanent fixtures, some kind of event, if someone just got bored today. It stands out on them. It's such a perfect distance. I hope the camera can make it out. Just on the horizon, we can see Tokyo. We can see the Tokyo sky. And we can already see just how far we've come. Vaguely misty things in the distance. Walk from there. Just a nice, brisk 50-minute walk. Now to that lovely walk and a cat walking on the beach, which I've never seen before in my life. It's time to head to the mess.
Sinnr was very good. It was weirdly paced. The outro was halfway through. And there were some less good songs. There was a bit in the middle with the DJ. I didn't really like. I think it was Persona 2 probably. But overall, made me happy to be in Japan again. It's been a good week.
Well, I'm in a shopping mall. And I wanted to see if they had some shoes that I wanted. They didn't have them. But the interesting thing is, if you know how language works, you don't need to know the responses. I said, "Konokutsu wa urimasu ka?" So, do you sell these shoes? And I showed them a picture. And they said something I didn't understand. But the fact they didn't, point me in a direction or show me where they were, like, well, I know you don't have them, even if I didn't understand a word you said in response. When I came to Disney before, I literally just came here and I realised that everything was closed. So I was literally going right past it. Why not just have a look at everything?
By Disney is very uniquely themed, and I'd say it's worth a look around if you can fit the time in around Disney, but it does close at the same time as Disney, and it's a little bit out of the way of Tokyo, so going to the mess, I was literally going right past it on the way back, so it was a great chance. Otherwise it's a bit hard to fit in.
it's a pretty cool shopping mall. It's got some nice aesthetics to it. On the outside, I think this is one of the hotels. I'm just having a little walk around. I think I want to leave before 9, which will probably leave well before that, just so I don't get the end of Disney closing rush. But this is a nice little place to explore as a little Disney bonus.
Nostalgia already took hold of me, and I decided to visit Kagoazaka, which is where I spent my previous first month in Tokyo, and it was honestly just a really nice area, so I was happy to walk around again.
Things are already changing. This is a view I never appreciated before. That is gorgeous. Something interesting, I don't know why it is, I just wanted to put it up. But most days at 5 PM, this is like in my house where I live, in this random place where I am now, there's this sound that goes off. And I assume that's because it's the end of the workday and they're trying to say to people, stop doing overtime and go home. It's my guess, but I don't actually know.
The actual reason is similar. It's to tell kids to go home when they don't have phones and it gets to 5 and it's like, yo, dinner's ready soon, it's dark soon, go. Another day down, and this time I visit a popular anime spot in Tokyo. These are the Your Name Shrine and Temple. Obviously not made for that, but that's what brought it its popularity. You'll see the little signs on the Emma all over the area, and then there is the signature staircase, which I went to try and recreate the photo, not realizing how goddamn sweaty my back was, so I need to go again. Halloween was approaching, my neighbour had the least Halloweeny thing possible. Something nice will happen. I mean, I guess. Then I happened to see there was a Persona exhibit nearby. I didn't buy anything, and it's a very short kind of exhibit, but it's a good thing to see. The next day I went to the 2D cafe with a friend, which is a unique little cafe near Shinjuku that I honestly really appreciate the aesthetic of. The only thing that weren't 2D were the seats. Then came a night that I had dreaded but needed to do. A night walking around Kabukicho, the most dangerous district in Tokyo.
Alright, so I've got 1 week left in Tokyo and I had plans for today. Then I overslept for many hours. So I changed my plans. I had a lovely day. First I went to the 2D cafe with a friend. Had a lovely little boba, those are really nice now. And then I went to play some Magic and won 6 games out of 6, which was good. Then I was on my way home and I was wondering, do I want to get the train or want to walk? And I decided to do it halfway. I got the train to Shinjuku halfway. And then I figured, I haven't actually walked around Shinjuku at like 11 PM. It's like now nearly, what time is it now? Yeah, it's now nearly 12, so I thought, why not do that? So I came here, had a little look, went to Kabukicho. Now if you know Kabukicho, it's kind of sketch compared to most places in Tokyo. So I had a little walk around, and within the space of 10 minutes, within the space of 2 minutes, I had one person try and coerce me into a bar to get drugged. Another person offered me a massage. Can't remember the other one. Another massage. Someone tried to give me a fist bump, someone tried to talk to me, to get me in places. Yeah, it's all bad. But very interesting, nonetheless. And I've had that experience now. This isn't just your casual, hey, hello, can I have a moment of your time? These people like, one just chased after me and said, yo, I want to massage you. Really? No. Another person walked beside me. I caught eye contact with them and then turned away, because I've heard about the stories. They caught up with me, showed me 2 pictures of some women. For some reason, I was like, no, I'm good. Then they were like, yo, give you a free drink, come to my place. It's like, I've heard these stories, we don't do that in Kabukicho. If you go to Japan, don't go anywhere in Kabukicho that anyone tells you to. If you come to Japan, you do visit Kabukicho, do not go where anyone tells you. Sadly, there's a lot of well-known stories of people taking you up to a pub 6 floors up, giving you a drink for free, happen to be spiked, and when you're out of it, they charge your card for as much money as possible. So there's plenty of fine places around there, but if anyone tries to coerce you into somewhere,